Today's video is going to be a little bit different because I am so excited to finally launch my free guide, Social Media Simplified, which will walk you through the steps that I take when developing a strategy for myself or for clients and their social media sites. I designed this guide with busy small business owners in mind to help save time and walk you step by step through the tough 6 questions you need to answer to know exactly what you should be doing on social media and how to know if what you're doing is successful. Whether you want to restart your social media or you're starting from scratch, these 6 questions will boost your social media presence this week within 7 days online, and I cannot wait to walk you through it. Let's get started. To make this a little easier, I've shrunk myself down to the corner so you can see my screen and we can walk through the steps together. If you don't have the guide yet, you want to go to ToriTerhune.com. I've got it spelled out here for you, Tori, T-O-R-I, Terhune, Terhune.com, and you can scroll down just a little. There's a Snag the Free Guide right here up top, or you can scroll down a bit further if you want to see other things you can grab for free. It's over here on the left, the free guide. You click there. All I ask from you is an email so I can shoot it over to you, and it's as simple as that. Really simplified. If you want to scroll through this page and find out exactly what's in there, get a little more information, feel free. Otherwise, get your free guide and let's get rolling. If you don't have it yet, pause here. If you do, let's keep on chugging. Here's the first page of the guide, followed by a little bit of an introduction to who I am and what this guide's all about, which I've already told you, so we're going to skip through that. I want to start here on page 3 with your roadmap. This is my full circle social strategy. This is what I follow when I'm creating strategies and adjusting them to make them work better online. We start with our goal, we move to our target, we then craft our message, we figure out where to position it, we engage, we evaluate, and we make sure we're still following those goals. And it's just this circular strategy that keeps going. So these 6 different steps here in the circle are the 6 questions that we're going to be answering throughout this workbook to make sure that we are following a very specific strategy for our business. We're going to start first with step 1, which is our goal. Why do you want to be on social media? What would success look like for you? Like, what is the whole point here, right? So we want to choose one goal to focus on rather than trying to do a bunch of different things at once. Are we looking for more reach? Are we looking for more sales? Are we looking for better engagement? What is that goal? If you have different goals, you're going to focus on different things. For example, if you want more reach, you'd post more about me content so new people will discover who you are and decide whether or not they want to engage with you or follow you. If you want more engagement, you're going to tailor your content to people who maybe already know you and are ready to take that next step into that deeper relationship. Just a quick few examples there. But here on page 5 is our first worksheet. And this is where we're actually going to fill in our social media goal. Down below, I want to help explain this table here at the bottom and what this means. So on the left, this is what you might call your business goal. This is what you come to social media for. You want to grow your brand. You want to turn your customers into advocates. You want to drive leads and sales. I take that goal and I've translated it for you into what that means on social media. So on social media, that's for growing your brand, reach. For turning customers into advocates, engagement. For driving leads and sales, that's conversions. And then on the far right, I've provided you with the metrics that you're going to want to watch to see if you're being successful with your content. For reach, that's the impressions or the amount of people that see your content, your follower count. For engagement, that's comments, likes, shares, tags. And for conversions, we're looking for website clicks or lead generation, anything where it's taking them a step further from your social media. Once you've decided what your goal is, we're going to scroll up a little here. You're going to put, what is the number one reason you want your business on social media? Take a minute if you need to think about it, and feel free to pause before we move on to the second step. Step 2 is we're going to define your target market or your target audience or your audience avatar. We want to know who your ideal audience is and where they hang out online. This is really important to know to make sure we're speaking directly to your audience and we're not wasting any time online speaking into the void or shouting into the void of social media. A few quick tips to get you started here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. We want to look for common denominators in your current audience. Are they younger or older? What are they generally struggling with? Another thing we can do is look at your current analytics, whether it's through Meta Business Suite, LinkedIn Analytics, TikTok Analytics, Metricool, whatever you use. This will provide you with some valuable insights that should tell you like what's the top city, what's the top gender of your current audience, and you can pull that information to help you already understand your audience a little bit better. So let's scroll down to the actual worksheet. We want to figure out their both demographics and psychographics. So we want to be as specific as possible here. You will probably pick up, fringe people on the outside of your target market just for posting interesting content. But we want to focus our content to our exact target market, the person we know wants to purchase our products or services. That's who we want to talk directly to. So we start here with demographics. What is their age? What's their occupation or their income? Gender, family information. And then going a little deeper into how they think or what they're thinking. Psychographics. What are their values? What do they value in their life or in their products that they buy or in the services you could provide? What are their goals? What do they want? How can we help them reach those goals? What are their biggest problems? How can we help fix that? And any potential objections that you think that they might have that we can already answer. Like, do they not have enough money to purchase a certain product or service, or do they not value it enough? Whatever those objections might be, we want to put all that here so we are aware of it when we're creating the content directly to them. Take some time, really get specific. It's going to help us with the next few steps of knowing what your message is and where you should be online. All of this works together when we get to the end, I promise. So take a minute and hit that pause button. Step 3 is defining our message. What are we going to post about? What are our content pillars? In public relations and traditional communications, we call these key messages. In social media, it's called content pillars. I'd call them pretty synonymous with each other. But basically, the idea is we want to be, I'm going to scroll down so you can follow along, consistent. People are more likely to follow accounts or engage when they know what to expect. It helps us focus. Every piece of our content can serve a very specific purpose when we're following content pillars. We can be more efficient. Instead of trying to come up with content ideas from scratch all the time, you have this framework to help you brainstorm new content ideas to fill each of the pillars. We can experiment. We can try different types of content under each pillar to see what performs best. And when we measure, it's easier to measure which pillars are performing well or what types or genres of content perform best. I'm going to scroll down to the next page here where it's the worksheet that you can fill in. I have some examples of suggested pillars. If you're still not sure what a content pillar is, or you want a lot more background and maybe some more examples, I have a whole video just on content pillars to help you through that. I would love if you want to hop over and watch that. Maybe pause this one, go check that one out for a minute. Either way, we're going to walk through these pillars here. I've got 5 defined as examples, very general examples. You can make these more specific if you like. The first being tips or best practices, which help your followers to do something related to your business or industry. It teaches them things. It's that educational piece. The second is thought leadership, where you provide insights on trends or news in your business or industry. This pillar will specifically make you an industry leader. If you're looking for that authoritative tone, this is where it comes from, showing that you are on the pulse of what's going on in your industry. You are at the head of it. You know exactly what's going on. They can come to you if they need more information. The third pillar example is problem solving. This is where we take those objectives that our target had to our product or our service and we answer them head on before they can even ask the question, oh no, that's not a problem because of this. We've already solved it for you. Here's the answer. We are addressing those issues before they become an issue to get people to buy your product or service. Scrolling down a little more, we have the fourth pillar example, social proof. This is where we're sharing testimonials, case studies, customer wins. Anytime you get a kudos or you want to share, this is where it goes. One example here, if you get testimonials, on Yelp or Google review, you can take the text, put it over an image and post it to any social media network, or put it over a video if you want to do TikTok or Reels. And that's a great way to get a little social proof shared out there. This is that third-party credibility, someone else saying how awesome you are so you don't have to say it. It's a great tool to keep in your social media belt. And the last pillar example here is authenticity. Showing your followers the person or the people behind the social media account, behind the business, behind the screen. Share your values, share what's going on in your employee culture, share the behind the scenes of an event you're throwing or what goes into your product or service. People love this type of content on social media because it really helps them feel connected. Again, if you want some more information on content pillars, hop on over to the content pillar video. If you feel like you've got it, pause the video here, take a minute, and fill in this sheet with each of the pillars that you want to include in your messaging. Step 4 is positioning. Specifically, this is where we're going to post. What platforms should you be on? Now, I know this is where a lot of businesses get stuck because you feel like you have to be everywhere all the time. And you really don't. I'm giving you permission to pick 1 or 2 networks here, the ones that you think will work best for you, where your target market hangs out, where you think you can have the most impact. And that's where we're going to pick. Now, if you've already been posting for a while, you might know which platforms work best for you and get you the most results. If you're not sure yet, take a quick look at your competitors, see where they're posting most often, where they're getting the most likes and comments. That's generally a good rule of thumb of where your target audience might be and where you should invest some time. Scrolling on down to the worksheet, we're going to choose your platforms. Number 1 here, the platform you already use that works best. You can fill it in right there. Number 2, your competitor's best platform. And number 3, the platforms that you choose to prioritize. If you want some more help here, I've got a couple other videos that talk about, whether your business should be on Facebook or not and how to best spend your time. Feel free to click around in those. If not, take a minute, push pause, and we're going to go on to step 5. Step 5 is engaging. This is how we build a loyal following. This is how we get likes on your posts. We're trying to figure out how to get people to engage more and really build that community through consistency and trust. Okay. If you've watched any of my videos, you probably know engagement to me is the number 1 thing on social media. It is the way to build your brand right now on social media with an algorithm, engagement. So this 5th worksheet, build your community. These 4 prompts are going to help you amplify what's working well and boost your engagement moving forward. First, we're going to look at content preferences. This is what types of content do your followers engage with most? If you don't have a platform already, you're going to look at your competitors. Are people relating more to stories or images or videos? If you can't really tell from a number standpoint, look at what your competitors are posting. Chances are they're doing most of what's working the best. That's what we want to be doing the most of. Are there specific topics or themes that they're posting about that seems to get a lot of engagement, or that you're posting about that seems to do well? Put all that here in content preferences. Next is response time. What is your strategy for responding to comments and direct messages? How quickly do you aim to respond? I will let you know that most people on social media expect a response within 24 hours, so that's generally a good rule of thumb. But be honest with yourself. This is where you need to take stock of your life and how busy you are, and just make a promise to yourself that you're going to do it however often. Third, down here we have stories or live sessions. How often will you use stories or live sessions? Can you host Q&A sessions, behind the scenes tours, things that feel a little bit more authentic than a polished piece on a feed? We want to have some more of that background content that's a little more engaging. And the last question here, the bottom box, polls and surveys. What interactive polls or surveys can you create? For example, Instagram will actually let you do polls on feed posts now. This is a great way to get people engaging, get them interested in what you're talking about, and get feedback to see what types of content you should be posting next. All 4 of these questions will help you think differently about engagement and help you create engaging content moving forward. So remember, we're going to hit pause here. Fill this in to the best of your ability, take lots of notes before we move on to step 6. Step 6 is to evaluate. This is where we want to know what posts are more successful, what does success even look like on social media, how do we make sure what we're putting all of this time into is actually giving us the results that we want. Back in step 1, we talked about the different metrics you might want to watch for the different goals you have, and that can be a great way to get started. You know, if your leads are going up, if your sales are going up, you're having good conversions, you know, if you're getting more reach on a lot of your posts, that you're getting more reach in general on social media. But I want to talk to you a little bit about engagement rate. I talked about it already on this video. Engagement's really, really important. I'm going to scroll down here a little bit and we could explain why. Social media platforms are making their algorithms smarter, and those algorithms are looking for real engagement to push your content to more people. So it's generally a good thing to look at to see if you're being successful online. So remember, social media algorithms are not showing your content to everyone anymore. It's showing it to who the algorithm thinks will find it interesting. So we have to appease the algorithm before we can be shown to more people. We want to look at 2 things to define your engagement rate, and that's your reach and your engagement. Once we have those 2 numbers, we can do the math. We want to find your most successful posts based on those 2 things. And if those posts that have a high engagement rate are getting you closer to your goal or align with your goal, then we're going to create more posts like that. It's as simple as that. So let's scroll down to the worksheet. We can walk through it. We'll start with what is your average engagement rate per post. So we look at the people who engaged, whether they clicked, commented, liked, divided by the amount of people that were reached. Some analytics tools will give you this number. Sometimes you have to do the math, but we're looking for that engagement rate percentage. We want to aim for 10% or higher engagement rate. In general, on social media sites, engagement rates are really between like 1 to 6% at the most. If you are really actively trying to get high engagement, 10% is a good benchmark for you. I should also mention that engagement rate scales as you grow. So the more people seeing your content, you want to get that same, ratio engaging. So in other words, if we have 100 followers with 10 people engaging, when we have 1,000 followers, we don't still want those 10 people engaging. We want 100 people engaging to keep that 10%. 10% of 100 is 10. 10% of 1,000 is 100. I know it's a lot of math, but try and stick with me here and make sure to let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this. I'm happy to spell it out a little further. Then we want to look at what is our most successful content. Which content is getting the highest engagement rate? And if it aligns with our goals, then that's what we want to keep posting or posting similar things to that. Next, we want to look at what is our least successful content. What's getting the lowest engagement rate? Can we make it more engaging? Can we tweak it to make it better? What else could we post that's similar to that might get that engagement rate a little higher? And then finally, are we getting closer to the goal? Are we getting more reach? Are we getting more engagement? Are we getting more conversions? If not, we might need to readjust and let's go back, look at the goal, start that circle over. What's our target? Are we hitting the target? Where's our messaging a little off? Go back through those steps and tweak as needed to make sure that we're coming up with the best content on the best platforms for our followers. That's a wrap. We made it through Social Media Simplified. I had a lot of fun making the guide, and I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions that weren't answered in this video, please feel free to click around my YouTube channel, see if any of those videos answer, or just shoot me a question in the comments below. You can also find me over on Instagram, putting a lot of this into practice if you want to see how it works in real time. If you feel like this was really helpful, but you're ready to get your social media to the next level, I've got you covered. I'm right now working on a social media course for small business owners. In this course, I walk you through 8 weeks, step by step, everything you need to know to save yourself time and make your presence more powerful online. I've got live Q&As, I've got a community of people who want the same thing as you do, willing and able to help you through it. When you're ready, click the link in the guide or the link below this video. You're going to find out everything that's included and how you can become a founding member of the course to get in before I've even launched it, get some extra bonuses, and save a whole lot of money. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe so my next video is really easy for you to find. My name is Tori, and thank you so much for watching. Stay social.